Okay, let's discuss one example on the application of, excuse me, torque. Okay, yan. So I got this from the PowerPoint that I have uploaded in Moodle under statics, torque. Okay, so the problem says, calculate the net torque or the total torque about point O for the two forces applied as in the figure below. The rod and both forces are in the plane of this page, okay, or the plane of the monitor of your laptops or whatever. So our object here, our rigid body here is itong beam na ito. Now, the FBD of the beam is already shown to us here because our system here is just this beam, and then all of the forces that the beam receives have been shown in the figure. So we can say that this is now the free body diagram. Now, unlike in the free body diagram when we discuss Newton's laws, so sa free body diagram sa Newton's laws, we use the particle model. Particle model, wherein uh, we represent the object as if it's just a particle, whether the object is a car, a person, a ball, a building, a planet. We just represent it as a particle. So what's the implication if the object is represented as a particle? The implication is that we do not care where the force is specifically applied, okay, because it has no effect whatsoever. Meaning to say, we consider as an object as if all of its masses are concentrated to its center of gravity, no? Na kung saan ang actual na application ng puwersa, wala siyang effect. So, that works for translational motion, yung Newton's laws natin. So, ang FBD natin, we just use the XY plane and then we place the particle at the center of the origin. Okay, let me pause for a while. Medyo maingay. Okay, let's continue. Where was I? There. Okay. So, asa na gani ko? Particle model. So, uh, before... okay. Ayan, hilog na siya. Ayan. Mapaglaro ang tadhana. No? Every time I start, the dog barks and everything else is noisy. Sige lang. Sige. Asa na ko? So, particle model just won't work anymore for extended rigid bodies. No? Why? Because if you recall the factors that affect torque, no, and let's just recall first because I believe that this concept is very important. So if you get the magnitude of torque, there are three factors that affect the moment of a force. Number one, the magnitude of the applied force. No? So the greater is the force applied, of course, most likely the torque will also be greater. But if you recall in the definition of torque, it's that the rotating ability of a force is not just dependent on the strength of the force, but also in two other factors. The second factor would be, we have tawag doon, the moment arm. Tama, hindi ko pala na-mention itong moment arm. I'm sorry. So if we have F, R, sine phi, okay? So this, the product of R sine phi, okay? This is given another more specific term pala, class. This is called the moment arm. Ayan. Bakit ko nakalimutan to sa earlier videos? Moment arm, also known as, nalobat ng aking laptop. Wait. Moment arm, also known as lever or lever arm. Depende kung unsa nimo pag-pronounce, but I'm used to lever. Lever arm. Lever lover. Ayan. So the moment arm or the lever arm is just the the perpendicular distance or the distance that is perpendicular to the line of action of the force. Okay, again, moment arm is the perpendicular distance between, let's say, the axis of rotation. Okay, tama ba sinabi ko? Distance within the axis of rotation and the forces line of action. Line of action. This is an important concept that I forgot to mention in the earlier videos, no? So, si r sine phi can also be given another, is also given another symbol, which is small letter L. And then you have there F. Okay. So, where L here is r sine theta. Now, take note of these important phrases. Lever arm, tapos perpendicular distance, and the forces line of action. So, what is the forces line of action? That is the axis where the force is acting. So, in this case, itong si F1 for example, you can just extrapolate the direction of the force. So, if F1 is going downward, no, it's pushing down the beam here, then the line of action of force 1 is the vertical line here. Ayan. So, if we want to determine now the moment arm of force 1, we just look for the perpendicular distance between the line of action and the axis of rotation. So, obviously, that would be from this distance to that distance, okay, which is just 5 meters. So, this is now the perpendicular distance, no, between the axis where R is lying, okay. I think that should be better. The axis where R is lying, position vector R is lying, and the forces line of action. So this is now the moment arm of L1. Tama ba? Because from the axis of rotation going to the point of application of force 1, this is now the position vector of force 1. We call it R sub 1. Tama ba? So obviously, si F1 here is already making a 90-degree angle with R1. So we say that R1 sine 90 is equal to R1, which is just equal to moment arm L1. Tama ba? Kasi 90 degrees man yan. It's very obvious that if uh, this were the beam, asa naman di ko makita ang self ko. Yan. So if this were the beam, if this were the beam, force F1 is directly 90 degrees with the beam. So, obviously, si F1 dito ngayon, itong buong 8 newtons niya ng F1 contributes to the rotation or to the torque that it causes. Walang part ni 8 na nasasayang kasi lahat sa kanya 90 degrees with R. So that's maximum cross product, isn't it? Okay. What about the moment arm of F2? F2 here is pulling the beam in the second quadrant. So at 30 degrees with respect to the beam. So the line of action of F2 is ito. Diba? It's just an axis that is along the force. So if we look at if we want to determine the perpendicular distance now, we can resolve F2 into parallel and perpendicular components. So si F2 ngayon, this would be F2 that is perpendicular to R1. Tama ba? Yan. And then this force here going to the left, horizontal, is F parallel of force 2. Okay. Now, asan si R2? Si R2 would be from the axis of rotation towards the point of application. Ito man ang point of application ni F2, di ba? So, this is now R sub 2. Okay. So, in other words, pwede mong kunin si R sine theta. So, R2 sine theta will will give you the moment arm, or pwede ring titingnan mo siya as F2 perpendicular times R. So ito na yung sabi ko kanina na you can actually use the different perspectives in the same problem like this, okay, where it is more appropriate or easier to use. Now, you might wonder, ma'am, what about the weight of the beam? Wala ba siyang torque? If the weight of the beam here is very much less compared to 12 newtons and 8 newtons, then the problem will really say that the weight of the beam is negligible. But in this case, if we look at the given problem here, it's not saying anything about the weightlessness of the beam. Wala siyang sinabi. However, the problem is just very clear that we are to determine the total torque that is due to the two forces only. So even if the weight of the beam is not given, or even if the weight of the beam is not stated na it's negligible, we don't care, because the question is just that we are to sum up the torque due to force 1 plus the torque due to force 2. Okay? Pero pag sinabing what's the total torque on the beam due to all of the forces, then we need to determine the weight of the beam. But in this case, wala man siya. So we will have another example for that. So kung, ayan. So in this case now, i-add lang natin. Okay, let's remind ourselves first that ang pinapahanap sa atin is the total torque because of 1 and 2. So let's just say total torque there. Question. So the total torque is just equivalent to the torque that is due to force 1 plus the torque that is due to force 2. But these torques, remember, these are vectors. So the sign, the algebraic sign is important because we are doing a summation. Okay? So the sign convention is like this. For counterclockwise rotation, okay, it corresponds to a negative torque when we do the summation. But the negative sign here is not the direction of torque, but the negative sign is telling you of the direction of rotation. Okay? Kasi ang direction ng torque dito, since the rotation is in the xy, the torque is either towards the board or away or towards us. Okay. Now, if the rotation were, so this is for counterclockwise rotation, you use negative torque. For clockwise rotation, you use positive value ng torque. But then again, the positive sign here is the direction of rotation, not the direction of torque. Okay, klaro ba? So what we do here now is this. So summation man siya, di ba? What I suggest, if the object is a beam, you use your pencil or ball pen, for example, hold it at the end where the axis of rotation is. So ito, si point O dito, ito yung dito dadaan si axis of rotation natin. Let's take this as the z-axis. So the rotation of the beam here is either counterclockwise, oops, tapos si z-axis ang nasa center, yan ha, or pwede ring, tawag dito, pwede ring, this is counterclockwise, or pwede ring clockwise rotation. Depende sa puwersa. Okay? Ayan. So ito yung axis of rotation natin. Kasi yung beam natin, will either be rotating clockwise or counterclockwise. So, how do we determine that? Kung saan ang axis of rotation, doon nyo hahawakan ang pen ninyo. So, in this case, if I am facing the monitor, i-image ko na lang siya. So, dito siya ngayon sa left ko. I will hold the pen sa left because this is where my axis of rotation is. You follow the direction of the force and see kung ano ang rotation na mangyayari. So for F1, F1 is being applied at the other end of the beam and it's pushing it down. So when it's pushing it down, with respect to me, it is clockwise. So dito sa drawing ko ngayon sa FBT ko, sasabihin ko na, isusulat ko dito na F1 will cause a clockwise rotation so that this corresponds to negative torque because of F1. So sa summation ko ngayon, I'll put here negative for torque due to T1. Okay, next. For F2, F2 is being applied closer to the axis of rotation and it is pulling it up. So it's just like pushing it dito sa baba. Pwede rin naman ganon. So if I pull it up in this direction, the rotation is counterclockwise. So I'll draw it in my paper here or in my tab that because of the pulling force of F2, if I will disregard F1 for a while, F2 will cause the beam to rotate on the other direction. Magka-counterclockwise direction ang beam kung hindi ko muna papansinin si F1. So, F2 alone will cause a positive torque here or a counterclockwise rotation. So, dito sa summation ko, it remains positive. Ayan. Okay? So, I hope that is clear. Again, klaruho na to ha. To determine the direction of the torque, you use your pen, hold it where the axis of rotation is, follow the direction of the force, and determine kung anong movement ng pen, kung clockwise or counterclockwise. So pushing it down will have a clockwise rotation. You write it immediately on your paper. Ito, a clockwise rotation, negative to remind yourself. And then, do the same for F2. So, pag nag-determine ka ngayon ng rotation, huwag mong pansinin yung ibang forces. Mag-focus ka doon sa isa-isang forces. Okay, let's continue. So, now that we know the signs of the torques, we are now ready to plug in our equation. So, we have negative. Let's use a blue, green. Ayan. So, si total torque now. Si F1 ngayon, since I know that the angle between them is 90 degrees, then I can immediately say that the torque of F1 is equal to negative. You have F1, tapos yung magnitude ngayon ni L1, which is just equal to R1. So moment arm R1. Okay, ayan na siya. And then plus, so torque 2 is anong gusto natin for torque 2? Let's say F2 perpendicular times magnitude of R2. Pwedeng ganyan. So if we further simplify this is F1 L1, which is sinabi na natin kanina equal to 5. This is L1. Plus, si F2 perpendicular, if this is 30, this should be F2 sine 30. Tama ba? So this is F2 sine angle 2. Tapos we have R2. So we are now ready to put the values. We have negative 8. L1 is 5 meters plus F2 is 12. But you have the sine 30. And then R2 is 2 meters. So this is now the total torque. Let's determine the value and then we'll be able to determine kung ano ang rotation nito. Kung mananalo ba ang rotation due to F1, kung mananalo ba ang rotation due to F2, or kung zero ito, walang rotation at all. So that's the physical meaning. So you have negative 40 plus, you have quantity 12, sine 30 times 2. So we have negative 28. I hope that's correct. Sometimes, ano ba ito? Do. So, let me try again. 12. Paki-check na lang din kung tama ang sign. Ano ko answer ko? Times 2 minus 40. So, it's really negative 28. So, negative 28 here, it means that nanalo ang torque ni F1. Okay, so you have negative 28 Newton meter. So for a negative rotation, this means that counterclockwise, so the torque is towards the observer or away from the plane. So I'll put the direction here like that, which means it's towards the observer or away from the plane. Towards the observer or away from plane. Away from plane. Or you can also say it's towards positive k hat or towards positive z-axis. So wag niyong kalimutan ang direction because again, the negative sign here is not the direction of torque but it's just the direction of rotation. So since it appears negative, then you know that the torque due to F1 is greater than the torque due to F2. Even if the force is even if force F1 is less than force F2, it's weaker. Pero ano sa tingin ninyo ang advantage ni F1? Why is its torque greater than F2 na mas maliit naman siya? Correct. It's because of the moment arm. So the moment arm here is longer, giving it a greater advantage even if it is weaker. So in other words, yung sinabi ko kanina, torque is being affected by three things. No? Number one, the magnitude of the force. Number two, the distance where the point of application is applied. No? Gaano ba kalayo yung point of application from the axis of rotation? The greater the R, the bigger is the torque. And ano ba ang orientation ng angle? I mean ng force. No? The angle it makes with R. So these are the three factors that contribute to the torque. It's not just everything about force. Okay? Ayan siya. Kaya, sa ato pa, ano pa ba mga practical applications nito? So if this were the door, for example, the top view of the door, and these are the hinges, and this would be the doorknob. Ayan. The maximum torque will happen if yung applied force mo dito is perpendicular to the door. Tama ba? Ito yung R natin. Kaya, you do not see houses with the doorknobs somewhere near the center of the door or dito malapit sa hinges. Kasi, bakit? It will be very difficult to open such door. Kasi maliit yung moment arm niya. Ayan. So, ito yung magmamax. If you apply the same force here, tapos let's say parallel, ma-open mo kaya ang door kung magpadidit ka dito ng F mo? Parallel, zero torque din yan. Not else. If the force is applied at the hinges also, you cannot open the door because this is where the moment arm is zero, di ba? Or position vector is zero. So, things like that. Ayan. So, that's for the first example here. I hope you will also solve problems on your own. Okay? In the next video, I'll discuss another example. But the object, instead of a beam, it will be a circular object. Okay? Sige. Until then, I'll see you in the next video.